Playoff best ball, an underdog fantasy is back. The way too early playoff best ball contest is here. $25,000 to first. I believe it was $10,000 to first last year. If you are brand new to playing playoff DFS, playoff best ball, very simple game actually on underdog fantasy. So it is a 10-round draft. There are 6 people in your draft, and the goal is to survive into the Super Bowl. You draft a quarterback, you draft 2 running backs, 1 running back, sorry, 2 wide receivers slash tight ends, 1 flex, 5 bench per team. Now, just because it's simple does not mean that it is easy. And I actually think that this year is potentially more difficult than any year I can remember for the way too early stuff. The teams that are currently favored to win their conference, the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-1 to win their conference. The Detroit Lions are 6-1 to win their conference. As of right now, neither of those teams currently are in the postseason. As of right now, the Packers, 49ers, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Bears, Rams, and Eagles are far and away the most likely teams. But as you see, due to the divisional stuff, the Bears are 7-3, but they are only 59% to make the postseason. So you're going to have to make a decision there. Really, I guess I should say this. I guess I should just say that this is the way that playoff best ball goes. When you are entering into these drafts, when you are entering into any given draft, you need to make a decision. Are the Detroit Lions going to make the postseason? And are the Kansas City Chiefs going to make the postseason? Because if the Lions and Chiefs do make the postseason, one or the other, they are clearly going to be the most important teams. They're both very fantasy friendly. They both have a really high Super Bowl probability compared to the way they're going. Now, of course, the Bills and the Eagles, as of right now, are favored to win the conference to a huge degree. That is going to change massively, right? That is going to change massively if and when either of those teams do qualify for the postseason. On the AFC side, you have the Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Bills as basically stone locks to make the postseason. Then you have the Steelers and Ravens. I would imagine, in fact, I am almost certain this is true. Let's go win division and let's look at the AFC North. Yes, the Ravens are minus 320 to win the division. The Cincinnati Bengals are 33-1, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are plus 270 to win. So basically, what the larger market is telling you right now is the Baltimore Ravens, despite not currently qualifying for the playoffs, are favorites to make it. The market actually, by the way, not saying that the Chiefs are like overwhelming. I suppose that is like pretty relevant. The Kansas City Chiefs on the Fanatic Sportsbook, which actually is like a pretty shitty book, minus 225. BetMGM minus 200. Okay, all the serious books they're about minus 200. Let's go look at the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are minus 450 to make the postseason. So yes. Bears and Steelers are obvious lame ducks. I would agree with that. So I guess before we get into a draft, let's just go ahead and cover like a couple of the basics, right? In terms of what we need to be doing in strategy. So you need to make sure every lineup you have is able to complete a lineup for the Super Bowl. So does that mean that you do, for example, you take 5 Bills, 5 Eagles? So you don't have to do that. But every lineup does need to be able to field a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers or tight ends, and a flex starter for the postseason. Got to do it. Got to have it. I would say another thing that is very different about playoff best ball is shitty players are actually pretty good, right? What do I mean by that? I mean that shitty players on the Bills, shitty players on the Eagles, shitty players on the Lions, basically. I think a very helpful way to think about this is Imagine what a player's projection would be if their team did make the Super Bowl. So let's say, there's a great example from Josh here. Rams are fun because they have 4 tight ends that score touchdowns. So let's say Terrence Ferguson. So what is Terrence Ferguson's projection on a normal week? I don't know what it'd be, like 4 points, probably 3 points would be Terrence Ferguson's projection. But then you should multiply that by the probability that they make the Super Bowl. So, for example, Jamar Chase, I don't know what's a team that's like around. Let's do a better example than Jamar Chase. What's a team? Okay, Carolina Panthers plus 325 to make the postseason. Terrence Ferguson is about 100 times better of a pick than Tetairoa McMillan in playoff best ball. Even if you grant that in a given game, Tetairoa McMillan should project for 20 points. If you multiply that 20 points by the probability that the Carolina Panthers play in a Super Bowl, and then multiply Terrence Ferguson's projection by the probability that the Los Angeles Rams make a Super Bowl, you are so much more likely to get Terrence Ferguson on a winning playoff best ball team in 2026 than Tetairoa McMillan. Yes. Now, this is a little bit deeper that we need to get. I mean, we're going to talk about some of the mistakes that I made in playoff best ball last year. Some of the guys that are most important are the guys that score a ton of points in losses. So Ladd McConkey was a great example of this last year. Ladd McConkey was basically I believe Ladd was the highest scoring player overall in the first round of the postseason last year. But the Chargers lost. So we ended up having this huge, you definitely obviously did not have to have Ladd McConkey. It was very helpful, but Ladd only scored 28 points for the entirety of the postseason. The actual key to last year was the Washington Commanders. The Commanders were way down the board in terms of odds to make the NFC Conference Championship, but they did make the NFC Conference Championship. So in order to advance, Chiefs players and Eagles players, Commanders players were very, very helpful. But let's go ahead and hop into a draft right now. I haven't even done rankings yet. Oh no. Did the error permissions come back? That would be an absolute nightmare if that happened. But let's do way too early. So right now, I mean, I'm assuming the correct 101 is probably Hurts and Allen. I'm guessing that is correct. I haven't even these contests are so new right now. I have not even thought through. So let's go to win conference odds. And let's sort by whatever Fanatics, why not? So you've got this is not right. The New Orleans Saints are certainly not minus 450 to win the conference. I might need to refresh this tab. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so I guess Puka probably is the 101. I guess that would probably it be Puka could be the potential 101. Yeah, I guess. Well, the quarterback ADP will move when it moves. I mean, I guess it probably won't be today. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. JT is a really bad 101 because, I mean, I'm sorry, man. The Colts are not going to make the postseason, or the Colts are not going to They're not going to win the Super Bowl. Not going to win the AFC. The Colts would be dogs to the Ravens. Colts would be dog to the Bills. So it cannot be JT 101. Yeah, I mean, for me, it would probably be Hurts. I think if I'm just thinking right now, I think Hurts is probably the 101. And if the Chiefs lose to the Colts, then you are taking if the Chiefs lose to the Colts, then Josh Allen's the 101 because then the Chiefs are so unlikely to make the postseason. I mean, it just has to be. It's got to be Hurts because he is the top quarterback. He's a good fantasy point scorer on the team that is most likely to win the NFC. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Dude, what do I know? What do I know? I was the guy who was fading the Chargers last year. Faded the Chargers last year. The Chargers were no hope, completely dead to win their game. But if you faded the Chargers, it was awful hard to advance because they scored so many points. But let's go ahead and hop into. Oh God, the location error really is back, man. So here's some projected standings. By the way, I guess this should have gone without saying, but the one seeds, which right now is projected to be the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles, they are unlikely to play a round one game because they have a bye. So if you are taking Jalen Hurts, you need to take another quarterback, or theoretically. And if you're taking Drake May, you probably need to take another quarterback. Yeah, the Colts would be like the Colts would probably be 4.5 point dogs to Buffalo. Don't you guys think 4.5 points? Would it be more? Would it be a full touchdown? Would the Bills be a full touchdown dog to the Colts? The Colts right now, I believe. I mean, I'm gonna double check this. I believe the Colts right now are dogs to the Chiefs, who are not a particularly good team. Yeah, the Colts are 3-point dogs to the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, they would be Colts 6, I think. You think it'd be 6 Colts plus 3 in Indy? No, it would definitely be more than 3. Feel very confident it would be more than 3. It probably I bet 4.5. 4.5 is probably the right number. But the Colts would be dogs to the Ravens. The Colts would be dogs to the Bills. The Colts would be dogs to the Chiefs. Yes, that game. You're very right. The game is in Kansas City. But the Chiefs are also bad. So you gotta think about that. Yeah, I think 4.5 is probably the right number there. All right, let's see if I fix this location error by opening up a new tab. If not, I'm gonna have to enter on my phone. Okay, all right, we're gonna have to enter on the phone. Throwback to the summer, like we are when we're getting the location error again. I've noticed. I think this is an internet wide thing. I think it's a little bit of that Cloudflare error that has been bothering everyone. All right, here we go. We're locked in. Ravens sort of stink. The Ravens don't stink. The Ravens are like just like a very normal team that had their quarterback injured. And guess what? When your quarterback gets injured, it's kind of tough. I agree. The last year, like I think like 45% of my teams were Chiefs Eagles teams. I would definitely not do that this year. I don't feel overwhelmingly strongly about any of those teams. I have 2 third quarters in the finals this week, but well, that's the way she goes, Gonzo. All right, so we drew the 4th overall pick. I really don't know what we're about to get into, but I know that I am very excited to test the wiles. Yeah, for sure. No one. I definitely I definitely did not load up on the Green Bay Packers last year, but yeah, Eagles, Ravens. All right, so we did get. So Allen goes 1, Barkley goes 2. I don't know. Let's try and push the quarterback thing just while it's possible. We'll do Puka Nacua. Because what's going to happen is very soon you are not going to be able to push quarterbacks. Ravens are not that good. Yeah, the Ravens are pretty good, brother. But if you don't think they're good, don't draft them. They almost certainly did not lose to Dylan Gabriel. I mean, I think that literally on the first day of the contest, I'm going to try and do a little bit more of pushing the quarterback, because basically what's going to happen is by tomorrow or maybe by Thursday, the entire first round quarterbacks is going to be quarterbacks. The entire first round is going to be Josh, Hurts. Stafford is going to get pushed way up. Drake May is going to get pushed way up. Lamar will get pushed up. Nix will get pushed up. Mahomes will get pushed up. It's just the way it goes. It's the way playoff best ball has been every single year, because the quarterback is the most important point. Okay. Okay, we just take Kyron. There you go. All right, so we've got 2 Rams. Was the score not 16-10 Browns before Gabriel got hurt? I don't know, man. It's not really that interesting to me. The Ravens like won at a canter, didn't they? Didn't the Ravens win by a touchdown? And weren't they favored by a touchdown? I think what are the Ravens Super Bowl odds? Aren't the Ravens Super Bowl odds pretty good? The Ravens odds to win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna guess they're like 10-1. The Baltimore Ravens are 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. So I don't know, man. Feels like 12-1. That happens because we thought 5 teams had a chance, so their quarterbacks got pushed up. I guess that's true. If there's 6 plus feasible teams, that's actually a great point. It's a very good point from Dab K. So we might not see the quarterback push near as much. Yeah. So it's a good point. How far are we pushing Stafford if we get Adams here? I mean, I guess this is literally my first draft, but if there is a AFC player you really want, like what am I benefiting from here by pushing Stafford? So I get Adams, and then I guess I just have to ask myself, okay, so I'm going to do Adams. So we've got all the important Rams players. What team getting 100% drafted will miss the postseason? I mean, the Steelers, right? It's got to be the Steelers. Yeah, Steelers are not going to make the postseason. The Bears are probably not going to make the postseason. Really would not be surprising to me to see the Green Bay Packers not make the postseason. Oh, could the Seahawks theoretically miss? What are the Seahawks make playoffs odds? Maybe that's crazy. The Seahawks are 16 are negative are okay. Okay, the Seahawks are going to make the postseason. A little bit different. Steelers are not getting drafted. Okay, well, yeah, I certainly would not draft any Steelers. All right, well, yeah, there really is just no reason for me to not take Stafford here. I could start taking AFC players, but it's going to be way more penalized to not do that. Yes, one of Seattle, San Francisco, Green Bay, Chicago will miss. Blake Corum is the most important person in the world. I mean, the Chiefs are certainly the team that is most likely to be the team that is 100% drafted to miss the postseason. Obviously, the thing you have to contend with is the team that they would be replacing is the Chargers, and the Chargers have a 0% Super Bowl probability. Like the Chargers cannot make the post. The Chargers cannot win the Super Bowl. Chiefs are not very good, but just because they have Mahomes, they can win the Super Bowl. So that's really the only difference. Like I would just not take any Chargers players in this contest. Okay, so we could start to build out an AFC thing. Where does Lamar go? Lamar's already gone. Do we want to start building out? Yeah. I think let's do Henry, because Henry also is like no chance of having a bye. You need to have a minimum of 5 players in the final round. So you have to have a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers / tight ends, and a flex. So you need to have at least 5 players in the Super Bowl. Obviously, having more Wow, look at my boy. Look at my boy with the short kings. New member, Gonzo. Okay. So, do I want to try and build out multiple AFCs? Okay. So you could take like Higby. Yeah, let's earmark a round 10 Ram, and then let's do 2 Ravens and maybe 2 Colts. Yeah, 2 Ravens, 2 Colts. I think that makes some sense. So let's go Ravens ADP. Okay, so it's gonna have to be Andrews. So let's go Colts. Let's do Michael Pittman Jr., who might very well have a strong postseason. I mean, I think you probably just flip a coin on Rams tight ends, honestly. Like I think you can literally just between Higby, Ferguson, Parkinson. I mean, you could take some Davis Allen if you wanted. I would say you could flip a coin between Higby and Ferguson because it doesn't really matter. This is bad advice. Definitely do not avoid all Rams tight ends. Players like that are super important for playoff best ball. The Juwan Jennings guys. Obviously not last year, but 2 years ago, Juwan Jennings was in the optimal and was not a 100% drafted guy who what he get like I think he got like 19 points in the Super Bowl. Um, well, the Rams didn't make the postseason last year, or the Rams didn't make the Super Bowl. So why would you have needed a Rams tight end? The Rams didn't even the Rams made the conference championship, but yeah, you would like to have guys who are not 100% owned on the Super Bowl. All right, so we either need a Raven. Well, you know what? We could take Daniel Jones. No, that's bad advice. Let's go Ravens. Let's be Mark Andrews, or you know what? It's pretty early. Just for advance rate stuff, let's do a little bit more second quarterback. Wow, Gonzo with the super sticker. Appreciate you. Yeah, 2-2 I think is fine. Daniel Jones was not a great pick there. I think math wise, you actually probably I should have taken Mark Andrews and then taken like Alec Pierce or something. But I think the Rams are really unlikely to be a 1 seed. Are they in the running? It feels like maybe they're not. I guess they could beat the Eagles out. They could definitely beat the Eagles out. Yeah, they are. They are in running for the first round bye. Okay. Okay, there you go. I guess in my head they were not, but there you go. Okay. All right. So that's actually fine. And I will probably be a little bit more risk averse with the 1 seed stuff early. All right. So we've got Colts. Let's do I mean, this is pretty easy. We're gonna take Blake Corum. Well, no, actually, no, we're not. We're gonna take Rashad Bateman for our Raven. So now, regardless of who makes the Super Bowl on the AFC side, well, assuming if it is a Raven or a Colt, we will have a complete roster, which is nice. So we got to book out one more pick we need one more Ram. I personally do not think the Chargers are a sneaky team. They basically have the worst offensive line in all of football right now. So very, 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 very hard to no, the Colts are not going to be the 1 seed. The Patriots are going to be the 1 seed. Could be the Broncos, but probably the Patriots are going to be the 1 seed. GG, back to the grind, Gonzo. Hope to see you in these streets, my friend. Hope to see you on on the leaderboard. Okay. So we've got a Colts and we need one more. So we need one more Colt and we need one more. All right, so we're going to do Alec Pierce We're gonna do Alec Pierce, and then we're gonna take any Rams player. Rams. So you could take Atwell. You could take Higbee. I mean, they're all kind of the same. Could have done this as well. I think getting the Rams player is more important, but I could see there being a reason to hit him with the I don't think the Chargers are going to make the postseason. They could. So the Chargers have no offensive linemen left. They play the Eagles, they play the Chiefs, they play the Cowboys, they play the Texans, they play the Broncos. They might not get to 10 wins. They might have 2 wins left on their schedule. It's just unfortunate, but I think it is what it is. RJ Harvey is a very interesting pick here. All right. Now, do I take Corum? Because Corum fills a running back slot if Kyron were to get hurt. I might want to take Corum. Or I was maybe going to take Keaton Mitchell. All right. Let's do. Well, it's Corum. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take Corum. Corum instead of Higbee or Tootin or whatever. Chargers have a 61.5% chance to make the playoffs. I personally would not bet that. That would just be my opinion. The Los Angeles Chargers minus 175 to make the postseason. Yeah, Beatty for sure. I like that. How did everyone do? Because most people are so bad at these. Yeah, Justice Hill. Justice Hill with this toe injury is a little bit concerning. I don't know how long that'll last. Last year I did really poor in these contests last year because I didn't draft Ladd McConkey much and I didn't draft very many Commanders. It's definitely not that simple for the Chargers. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Do whatever you want. I am not interested in drafting a ton of Chargers stuff because I don't really believe that they're going to be any good in the postseason. I guess philosophically, I just don't really care about my advance rate in these contests at all. Either I have a bunch of teams that make the postseason, or I have a bunch of teams that make the final, or I don't. I was just in that draft with you, and boy, that is my least favorite form of DFS or best ball. That's funny because it's my favorite. Yes, Todd. Yes, my child is a week old. He's upstairs, hopefully not being too mean to his mom right now. I hope he's being kind to his mom. So there you go. All right, we got a Ram stack in as our very first, and let's go back and get back in there and find another shipper. These are really good contests to draft today too, before the ADP starts to adjust. Well, it was certainly not a mistake to not draft the Chargers last year. The Chargers the Chargers lost by 20 in their postseason game. How much did the Chargers lose by in the I got to go find this. Chargers PFR, cuz they got shit canned in that game. They lost 32-12. So the Chargers lost 32-12. The Chargers were dead the entire game. I knew they were going to be dead the entire game. I don't view that type of stuff as a mistake. It might very well be a mistake, but I don't. It can't really be that bad to fade a team that lost by 30 points, because the Ladd McConkey's money round projection 0 points. There are always a bunch of dead rosters in the Super Bowl. Always a bunch of dead ones in the final. It's just the nature of the format. Say Lad scores 30 points in the first round again this year and the Chargers lose. Would that change who you draft? Definitely would not. No. I mean, someone, I don't know who, is going to score 30 points in the first round this year and lose. I wish I knew who it was. Could be Nico Collins, could be, I don't know, whoever. Yeah, you literally do not even get your money back if you advance out of round one. There you go. Say the line, Bart. Keenan Allen. Sure, it could be Keenan Allen with pod luck. Well, yes, you do I mean, yes, you do need to advance. I don't know, man. I guess Barkley has the higher ADP. Let's do Barkley. It's probably Hurts as the number one, but my favorite non-Chiefs teams, Bills, right? I mean, the Bills are the best team in the AFC. Ooh, I could see Kez Johnson could be the 30 ball in a losing contest. I see that. The thing about Ladd that was so disastrous though is Ladd was 100% owned. You do get your money back if you advance. Is that true? It's $5 to enter, and you get this year you do get your whole $5 back. Well, yeah, I mean the Bills is it even possible for the Bills to get the 1 seed? The Bills are like way behind for the 1 seed, aren't they? Right now the Buffalo Bills are 3 games back of the 1 seed. Don't think the Bills are getting the 1 seed, which makes them even better picks in this format. Well, the Patriots are going to be the 1 seed, so they're probably a little bit easier. I think this is probably right. It's probably better to do Hurts 101 because you can fill the backup running back spot easier. But you can also get quarterbacks later. Okay. So there's no Eagle. Oh, okay. Let's do. Well, do I want to pivot to the AFC? Do I want to pivot to the AFC? Okay, I'm a little lost because this is my first draft. All right, well, let's just, you know what? It's early. Let's do a say the line, Bart. I got an idea. I'm going to take Barkley, and then I'm going to do all Chiefs Ravens next. I don't think tight end was separate from wide receiver last year. On DraftKings, you have to take a tight end. JT puts up 35 in the first round, and most of all the Barkley teams are done. I mean, who are the Colts going to play in round one? What's the most likely matchup? If Saquon went down tomorrow, would Tank 7.6 yards per carry Bigsby? No, but he'd be pretty high. He'd be pretty high. Could have gotten Mahomes at 4 or 5. Well, I panicked. I literally you guys are seeing me do the first draft of this right now. I have not done I've not thought about this. I've not thought about the matchups. I've not thought about ADP at all yet. But yes. So Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles. So AJ Brown is still there. And Devonta's. Wow, what is this draft crazy? Okay, AJ Brown went. All right, so we definitely need one Eagle. We need Ravens. And there's no Chief I need to take because Rashi went. So let's do definitely Devonta. And then Ravens or Chiefs. Well, I don't know. Probably Kelsey over Zay Flowers, but maybe I get Zay Flowers anyway. No, I have not done any of the fourth quarter drafts. Goddard is a fine click too. Eagles are a little bit less important part of this. Yes. Keaton Mitchell is the most important man in the world. First 3 picks on 3 different teams doesn't feel great. Well, I am playing this team, so I missed on Hurts, obviously, because you're not going to be able to get Barkley and Hurts together. So who do you want? Who do you want to be your quarterback? So you take Barkley. What is your plan at quarterback? Because these would be your options. You can do a different NFC quarterback and use Barkley as an advance rate piece, or you could just do one other AFC team. Like I guess there I could have done Lamar and Henry, but I kind of like this. I'd love a playoff best ball flow chart. Well, that's kind of what the sidekick does. No slow drafts for this. Although I agree with you, I kind of wish that there was slow drafts for these. All right, Barkley, Mahomes, Lamar, Devonta, Kelsey. So I definitely need Zay Flowers for one of these picks, and I definitely need. So I'm gonna have to take Pacheco and Hunt. Probably Hunt, honestly, might even be better. Let's actually just do. Well, okay, Worthy went. So let's do. Oh, let's just do Goddard and Flowers, because the running back stuff doesn't matter, because we're gonna take Keaton Mitchell and Kareem Hunt with our next 2 picks. Don't you think groups will cheat? I don't know. If you do, go play something else. If you think people are cheating in these contests. Yes. Yeah, it's happened twice. 49ers Chiefs and Eagles Chiefs, where both teams were the 1 seed. I definitely don't think you have to commit to 2 teams. I've gotten Hurts to fall back after taking some. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. So it looks like the sweet spot for quarterbacks is right about here in the 7th round. Wow. This dude took Hurts and May. I don't know if I love that. I don't think I love that. Whatever, try some stuff out. Yeah, I think if you're going to do 3 teams, you need to commit to 1 team from one conference and 2 from the other. I agree with that, because as of right now, the way this roster works is it doesn't matter which one of the AFC teams makes the Super Bowl. So we're going to do Kareem Hunt for our chief running back. And then for the Ravens, we are going to take Keaton Mitchell. So we do not care which of Kansas City or Baltimore makes the Super Bowl here, because we have both bases covered with Philadelphia. Now, the question is, do we try and take an advance rate piece? This could be one. It's pretty unlikely that this does happen. You must commit, because there will be teams in the finals with 6, 7 live big time players. Pretty uncommon for that to happen. Really set of specific things has to happen for there to be teams in the finals with multiple live big time players. So do we try and take an advance rate piece, or do we just take another Raven or Chiefs player? Amir Abdullah is a really good pick. Yes, Lad was key last year, and he was a dog shit pick. I'm sorry, guys. Lad was like the definition of a bad pick. A guy who gives you one score is a terrible pick in playoff best ball. It's just the way it goes. Lad gave you 1 week of points and then 3 zeros. There you go. Yes. Because it did happen. Well, you didn't win money because of him. You won money because of whoever else you drafted around him. Yeah, Jake Ferguson had a freaking nuke last year. All right. Let's do I guess the Chiefs are going to play in round 1. Let's just do Hollywood, I guess. It's Hollywood or a Ravens advance rate piece. Ravens, Hollywood or Bateman or Likely. Yeah, let's do Likely. All right, so we got Mahomes, Lamar, Barkley, Hunt, Keaton, Devonta Smith, Travis Kelce, Dallas Goedert, Zay Flowers, and Isaiah Likely. I mean, playoff best ball is frustrating because you just have to accept that the guys who are going to get points are kind of bad picks. Like, I don't know who's a good example of this. Let's go win conference odds. Like Tank Bigsby is a better pick than Christian McCaffrey. No, that's not right. Tank Bigsby is a better pick than Rome Odunze. How about that? Oh yeah, insane garbage time. They got like 3/4 of garbage time. It's definitely bad practice to take one off guy. It's absolutely bad. It is bad practice to do that. It's not bad practice if this makes sense. It's not bad practice to take 3 chargers. Like if you want to do Lad, then you should also take like Amari and Hampton with him, you know. I just don't I actually honestly this is not true. Drafting advance rate guys is probably bad. I mean, I think the final 4 teams will be the Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, and Rams, which is just a very chalk answer, but that's what I think. All right, let's see if I can enter into a draft on my computer or if it's still busto. Oh, I forgot to do a timestamp for the last draft. What did I just do? Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles stack. Way too early wild card. I cannot wait to max this thing. What site is that I'm using for playoff odds? That is Unabated. It's the Unabated odds dashboard. All right. Is it bad practice to take Raiders and Titans stacks? I mean, I assume so. My team that placed 3rd last year had 3 Texans. Mixon and Nico got me where I needed to go. Exactly. That is a much better. Like taking Lad as a one-off, not great. Taking Lad with Hampton and Keenan, much better because it increases the equity of your team in a certain eventuality. I'd have a ton of Troy Franklin in these. I think that makes sense. Michael, I've been seeing you. You've been killing it in the DFS streets, bro. I've been seeing your tweets. Okay. All right, we got the 5th pick in this one. Let's see if we can find a shipper. All right, so we've got Allen went 1 in this one. I do think Puka is like a pretty good pick. There you go. Yes, this is finally a format where Bowers is not a good pick. No Brockless Bowers. All right. Can take Hurts. Yeah. Hurts, May. Yeah, it's got to just be Hurts. Yeah. So this is kind of where I'm at. I love Drake May as much as the next Slappy, but the Patriots both having the bye and probably not quite being ready yet for a Super Bowl run, it does feel tough. All right, do I want to take another Eagle or do I want to go to the AFC side? It's kind of tricky. What do you do? Hurts. You could build out 2. I don't really know what to do here. Let's do a Detroit thing. Let's build out. I got a plan here. I feel like it's firmly in play to take one as a one-off, especially when trying to advance 2 bye-week teams. If those teams, well, yes, yeah, I think you can do. I'm gonna try and execute this a thread the needle stack, and we're gonna see it might not work out that well. Is it bad to have one player from an AFC team if you have a 5-man stack on the NFC side? No, that's almost like a little bit, feels like that's almost a little bit closer to optimal. Like if you have 5 Rams, what is adding in is adding in a 6th Ram more likely to do it? Or there you go. That's a spot to take a Lad McConkey. There you go. You have 5 Rams. The Rams don't get the 1 seed, and then you take Lad McConkey. And in like the 3% of the time that the Chargers win the AFC Conference Championship, you had a good advance rate piece and you have a high-end guy in a potential Super Bowl. Well, not only could the Broncos be this year's, I think the Broncos suck, but I'm probably wrong about that. All right. So we either need to start taking AFC pieces. What are the Lions ADPs? Okay, so Montgomery and Goff don't go for a while. Eagles probably don't have to take Devontae yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Rice. And then I'm going to take Kelsey. Do I do Kelsey or do I do JMO? Who goes next? Yeah, we're going to take Kelsey. You guys are going to see what I'm cooking. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it right now. Why take Rice and Kelsey when you're trying to draft players from postseason teams? It's pretty good. None of us know who's going to win in round 1 either. You're not looking at Lad versus Nixon or Nico knowing. That's true. What team do you think currently is a playoff fraud is the best chance to bump up in your personal rankings? I mean, if the Bears go on a little run here, I think I could change my mind about them. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. Okay, so now I do Jared Gofferino. So we take Goff, and then we take Dallas Goedert. If you have 5 Lions, would you rather have 2 Bills, 2 Chiefs, and a Raven, I would way rather have 2 Bills, 2 Chiefs, and a Raven than five AFC one-offs is just like killing yourself. Easy to take Kelsey and Rice on site credits. All right, so we're going to take Goddard now. So we now have a full roster. Well, with one more pick, we're going to have a full roster for a Eagles, Lions, Chiefs, Lions, Chiefs Super Bowl. Our final pick is going to be a Chiefs running back. And then, okay, Montgomery went. That's a little annoying that Montgomery went, but it's okay because we can take Tank Bigsby or Will Shipley. No, this is a so with Chiefs, you do not want to take advance rate guys. The Chiefs are supposed to be your advance rate guys because the Chiefs are 0% to have a bye. So you do not take advance rate guys in this structure. This structure is way too thin to take an advance rate guy. Yes, you are correct. It's gotta be Tank Bigsby. Okay, so we do JMO is more important though. So Jameson William. Oh shit, he went. Okay. So Tank actually is more important. So we do Tank there. So we have shit. Oh, dude, where did JMO go? So JMO going did kill. Okay, so JMO went to Jeff 057 whatever, and he oh, this poor guy. This poor guy does not know what contest he's drafting in. Rip to that guy. Okay. So I guess do you take like Brock Wright? You take Tesla or Khalif Raymond. Well, I guess you might as well take Worthy. Whatever. That's fine. I will not be taking any Jacksonville teams. I will have 0% Jacksonville Jaguars exposure. Could be wrong. Probably is wrong, but the Jacksonville Jaguars just can't make the Super Bowl. Could have been. Pacheco actually probably structurally is better there. I think you're right, Rusty. I think I messed up. No, see, that's you gotta shake that out of your head. Guys like Brock Wright, guys like Will Shipley, guys like Grant Calcaterra, they are good picks in playoff best ball. Okay, so I do have to take a Lions pass catcher. Whatever. Let's just do Tesla. And then we have to take a Chiefs running back. Sure, we'll do Isaiah Pacheco. Apparently Pacheco is going to be back pretty soon. That's what they're saying. Ruled out. He's been I don't know, but Pacheco is probably the top Chiefs running back to be selected. Who is I love you, bro, but I just think if that's the game you want to play, you could just play BRs. Picking the best player available regardless of team is not the way to approach these contests. There are a lot of contests where you can just pick guys who score points. You know what? Grant is right. So let's take Kareem Hunt. So there we go. So we have a fully combined roster in any eventuality of Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl or Eagles Lions Super Bowl. And we're also okay even if the Eagles get the 1 seed. Exactly. DeAndre Hopkins hit finals lineup and playoff best ball with yeah, I think this is actually, you know what? not so narrowcast. This is probably a better way to explain this to you. The best player available is the player who projects for the most points over 4 games, not just 1 game. So yes, you won last year. Lad McConkey got outscored in the postseason by Noah Gray. Noah Gray scored more postseason fantasy points than Lad McConkey. I guess maybe we just view it differently. Getting past the first round is worth nothing. If I wanted to go make 1% on my money, I could put my money in Vanguards. Like I just don't really have any interest in finishing 987th in these contests. I would like to win. All right, so Hurts, Gibbs, Rice, Kelsey, Goff, Goddard, Bigsby, Worthy, Tesla, and Kareem Hunt. Honestly, I'd like to just draft that exact same team again. Okay. That was a pretty sick thread the needle right there. Having flashbacks of drafting Aeneas Smith over Nico Collins. Been there, buddy. I maybe the best way to explain the philosophy of this contest is that your advance rate should actually probably be your expectation should be to have a negative advance rate, like less than 33% of your team's advancing. Yes, the first round does have the best. Yeah, honestly, this is maybe even a better point from Peppertoni, which is that your advance rate pieces should maybe be even a little bit more focused on rounds 2 and 3. It's true. This would be the 25 greater than 100 theorem. You could really test it out here. If you advance 1 to 150, congrats. Just start spending it now. Mr. My biggest Aeneas Smith drafter of all time. Right, so Barkley goes first, then Puka. Maybe I should just take a Jonathan Taylor team just for the vibes. I mean, it's probably bad to just stone fade Mr. Jonathan Taylor because he could get a bazillion points in round 1. I maybe this is kind of an even better way to think about it, which is that we'll do a Colts team. You almost just kind of assume you advance in round 1. Like just assume that things break your way and that you advance in round 1. That's maybe even a greater way. The nice part of the JG pick is other Colts pieces are free if you dare to dream. I don't know if I can dare to dream that big. I could take McCaffrey here and just be the sickest advance rate of all time. Who's gonna, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Who's gonna have a better advance rate? Here you go. We'll do the advance rate team right here. I promise you, I didn't learn any lesson from last year because there was no lesson to learn. I drafted more Chiefs Eagles teams than anyone, and I would do it again. I had Dallas Goedert. I think I had like 45% of Dallas Goedert, who ended up in the winning lineup. You know, just the way she goes, man. The thing that happened was not always the thing that was going to happen. And that's just the way it goes sometimes, brother. Yeah, drafting playoff best ball pre-Thanksgiving is like drafting big board teams. Just assume you're going to look back at these things in 6 weeks and cringe. Yeah, it's going to be insane. Okay. So, Pumpkin Bowl, Dimes versus Darnold. All right. So I guess I need to add a third team into the mix. What is the third team I want to add in? Kind of maybe the Lions. What are the cost of the Colts players? So you've got Warren, Pittman, Dimes, Pierce. Um Kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean honestly, dude, Colts 49ers could totally be a Super Bowl. I tell you what, dude, if the if the Kansas City Chiefs miss the playoffs, it's like anybody. My edge is I will not be taking Roma Dunze. I don't think I've seen Roma Dunze picked yet. You know what? Honestly, if Drake May is still there, I might just take Drake May. That's how you advance a Drake May team. Is you get Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey just super boosting you up. Yeah, Josh Allen first round is always going to feel good. All right, you know what? I am going to do a Drake May. We're going to take a Drake May here, and then we're going to do 49ers, and then Jonathan Taylor is going to be the one-off piece, but I'm going to have enough 49ers to fill out a Super Bowl. We're going to figure this out. If you did enough playoff best ball slates, the players who make the Super Bowl are the only ones you want on your team more often than the advancer. Exactly. Yeah, the 49ers probably can't make the Super Bowl, but also what if they did? It might be cool. Okay. I guess I didn't look at the associated costs of other Patriots players either. Um all right, so I actually do really want Kittle on this team. Patriots 49ers Super Bowl. Over under 90% chance. I mean, Kev, you're probably going to just have 99% Razor P. Taylor McCaffrey May. What does Ramondre cost? Ramondre's got to be like free in this, right? Yeah. So what is the so I need to have at least 3 49ers. Do I also take Purdy so that Jonathan Taylor can theoretically be So or maybe Dimes. The thing, man, I just do not believe that the Colts can make the Super Bowl. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but I just feel like it is impossible for the Colts to make the Super Bowl. I did a Rams SF plus Indy that felt kind of fun. Yeah. I mean, San Francisco is also quite nice because they score a lot of fantasy points. Like the not Mac Jones. Like the Denver Broncos might make the Super Bowl and just like score no fantasy points. I know. Imagine having the courage to take Brandon Ayuk in this contest. Could not be me. I do not have that in me to take Brandon Ayuk in a postseason best ball contest. I wish I did. I wish I was born with that strength, but I don't have it. Oh, okay. So do I take Diggs? Diggs probably makes sense here. Yes. Yeah, Diggs we want. That's who I'm going to take next. If round 1 is Chiefs at 2 seed Colts, Chiefs will be favored. Yes, they will. Assuming the Chiefs. Oh, we're definitely okay, we're going to do Diggs. We're definitely going to be drafting some Jake Tonjes. This is the game you don't want to mess up. Look at the Vegas odds to make the Super Bowl, then draft Colts like you should. I mean, I'm drafting Colts, but I just don't think it's very like what are their actual odds to make the Super Bowl? They got to be like what, like 10-1 or something. Futures win conference. The Indianapolis Colts are plus 420, so one at every 4 times. Gotta say, I would be on the short side of that. Okay, so we could do Warren. Yeah, let's do Warren. And then where's Ramondre? Ramondre's running back 16. Oh yeah, I think I'm cooking with gasoline here. Unclear. Wow. Yes, 10-minute had a huge shipper in this 10-minute won this contest last year. And I was in his pod. Probably with a shitty Chiefs Eagles one. I probably had what's his name? Why can I not think of the Chiefs backup running back last year? Who was the Chiefs running back 3 last year? Oh my God, this is embarrassing, bro. The Chiefs running back 3 last year. Samaj P. Ryan. Yeah, see, this looks like a team that can advance because it has a bunch of shitty guys who are not going to make the Super Bowl. No, it was Samaj P. Ryan. See, and yeah, an eagle on here would also be bad. An eagle on this would be really bad. Because you are limiting you're so limiting your combos. Wow. Fun fact, I don't even play regular season basketball, so your brain is not poisoned. You have an unpoisoned brain. Okay, then we take Ramondre. Wow, this is like a perfect distribution. So we have Patriots quarterback. We have 2 Colts, 2 Patriots, 2 49ers. We're going to take one more 49er. Then we're going to take the Purdster. Okay. Taylor, McCaffrey, May, Kittle, Diggs, Warren, Ramondre. All right. Eagles says the Lions, 49ers, Ravens, and Chiefs right now are the plays. I tend to agree. I'll just say this. I know that I just suck at these contests or whatever, but when the Chiefs beat the Colts next week, or if the Chiefs beat the Colts next week, all the Chiefs players are going way up. Chiefs players are going up to be first round picks. Like Mahomes is going to be a first round pick. So do with that what you will. I guess I don't really care. Okay, so then we do Purdy. Wow, what a perfect distribution. It's beautiful. May, Purdy, McCaffrey, Kittle. We can even take Jennings too, if we wanted. Exactly. It's like the you guys remember the Titans bye week or the Titans 1 seed year? I literally drafted 0 Titans that year. These are kind words. Go to when drafting best ball, so it doesn't matter if I suck. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I guess what I need to decide is, do I want to try and add in another Patriot? Because if I added in another Patriot, then I could do a random one-off. You know what? Actually, Jake, I was drafting Bengals that year. I had a really good finals team. that year. What was that? 2021. All right. I think Jennings probably. No, probably one. Do you want to do one more Patriot? Could do Hunter Henry. Let's do. Yeah, let's do Hunter Henry, and then we'll do one more 49er. Well, we already, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking one 49ers wide receiver. What I was thinking, and I am going to take Hunter Henry. What I was thinking is this one where it makes sense to take another NFC player, but it doesn't. Pats Chiefs are fun until you look down and your running backs are Hunt and Ramondre. Is it ever plus EV to not have Hunter Henry? No, it's literally locked in. All right, so we're gonna do. I got Jennings over Pearsall. Maybe hot take. It's kind of an interesting construction of teams. I don't know, man. The Patriots are in the AFC. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the 5th favorite. 5th favorite is pretty crazy to make the Super Bowl. So May, Purdy, Taylor, McCaffrey, Ramondre, Kittle, Diggs, Warren, Henry, Jennings. So a 49ers Patriots Super Bowl or a 49ers Colts Super Bowl. And we've got it locked in. We did thread the needle. A little bit. Seen better, seen worse. Patriots, 49ers, Colts grouping. Be really nice if I could enter these on. Yeah, you gotta call the hotline. Patriots feel like last year's Vikings. 16, plus 16 to 1 to make the Super Bowl. I mean, not that you never want to take them. I'll be very curious to do one of these streams with Karain, because obviously Karain is like the Drake May guy, and I wonder what his feelings on the Patriots stuff is. Okay, I am gonna go. I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'm gonna leave you guys with something we haven't seen in a long time. You want to scroll the F down for Keandre Lambert-Smith.
Oh my fucking god!
I'm about it. I'm about it.
This is too good.
Someone slap the Keandre Lambert-Smith button. The first KLS reception, I was like, wow, he is the greatest wide receiver of all time. Is the 9th round too early for KLS? People are asking.
4.37 40, played at Auburn. This is Darius Slayton vibes.
My thesis is at least not that he is Jerry Rice's kid. Slap the Keandre Lambert-Smith button. All right. Ooh, picking at the turn here. Yeah, the starting Drake May ADP is not good. I wish that I do wish that the Chargers were good, because then if the Chargers were the 1 seed, we actually could be drafting Keandre Lambert-Smith again. But yeah, I mean, I do think you just want a lot of your teams to be Eagles, Rams, Bills, and kind of the Chiefs. No one wants to hear it, but the Chiefs are Chiefs and Lions. The Lions are also the one. Because I think the Lions are really good. I think the Lions win their division, but they're also not. They have no threat to get the 1 seed. So no threat to get the 1 seed is pretty good. All right, so we're drafting out of the 6th slot. God damn. All right, Hurts went. Let's do Barkley and St. Brown and try and do an Eagles Chiefs or an Eagles Lions. An Eagles Lions creative combo. I've got some ideas. Well, if the if the Chiefs lose to the Colts, they're just not making the postseason. There is The Athletic has a playoff simulator, the Athletic Playoff Sim. So basically, there's a way to do this. Where do you? There used to be a way where you could simulate the like what a result would do. But yeah, the Chiefs are 56%, 9% to win the division. They're not going to win the division. God, okay. Dang, where did that tool go? Well, it's gone. It's gone now. But you used to be able to be like, okay, so this team lost to this team, which you can't do anymore. Yeah, could have done Gibbs and St. Brown, but I'm gonna stack on the AFC. Oh, you still can click on the Chiefs. Okay. Okay, here you go. So Chiefs win. There you go. Thank you, Eric. That was very helpful. So click on the Chiefs. There you go. They then go to 78%, and then if they win this Chargers game, they basically go to a lock. I didn't know you had to click on it now. Okay, so I have Barkley and St. Brown, so I can do. So you do Devonta Smith, and then we're gonna do Mahomes. So we're going to set up our Chiefs, Eagles, Lions stuff. But yes, obviously you could just do Gibbs and St. Brown and then do the AFC stuff. You could have done Barkley, or you could have done Gibbs, St. Brown, and then you could have taken Mahomes and Rice, or Lamar and Andrews, Lamar Flowers, whoever. Pretty easy to do that. But yeah, okay. So there we go. Now I know how the sim works. So let's do the Lions now on the old NFL playoff simulator, because I'm gonna guess their path is actually pretty easy. So they're 84% to make the playoffs right now, and if they win this game, wow, they don't even. So let's just do this. Let's just do. They beat the Giants. Let's say they lose to the Packers, but they beat the Cowboys, they lose to the Rams, they beat the Steelers, they beat the Vikings, and they lose this game to the Bears, 63%. But then, so that Week 18 game might be a win, and you're in. Oh yeah, the drafts can tilt away from you pretty quick. You definitely got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to jump real quickly. Okay, St. Brown, Devonta. So we do Chiefs. So we do Lions first. So we do Montgomery, and then and then we do Goddard. So there you go. So we have 3 Eagles, 2 Lions. We can take one more random Lion, and then maybe we get maybe we get Worthy, maybe we do not. There you go. I'm killing Kevin right now. Kevin did JMO. Kevin and I are trying to stack the same teams, which you will see. And what is more interesting is as we get closer to the postseason and like, so right now people are taking Seahawks players. Well, like, I don't know, in a couple weeks you might not really want to take Seahawks players or how, the Chiefs. Like right now, people are taking Chiefs players. They lose to the Colts. No one's taking Chiefs players, right? Because then they're cooked. What's the Chiefs playoff odds? If they lose to the Colts, beat the Cowboys, beat the Texans, beat the Chargers, beat the Chiefs, but if they lose this game to the Broncos and then beat that, so they're only 59% if they lose 2 games, basically. So it's not great. They basically, and okay, let's say they win that game. Yeah. This game is the whole season. That game is the whole season. This is the athletic playoff simulator. If you have an athletic subscription, you have access to it. All right, so we have got Lions. It might even make sense. You know what? It might even make sense to take Goff on this. So we're going to do Pacheco and then Chiefs. We can wait on Hollywood. You know what? I am going to take Goff. I'm going to take Goff, not for 1 seed stuff, but literally just for advance rate stuff. Do that with the Panthers. I'm sorry, man. And I love the Panthers and stuff, but the Panthers are never in a million years making the Super Bowl. So the Panthers could go undefeated for the rest of the season, and I'm still not taking them. All right, so let's say the Panthers beat the 49ers, beat the Saints, beat the Buccaneers, lose to the Seahawks, lose to the Rams. Then that Week 18 game is going to be a win, and you're in. I don't think that Pat and Jacob will ever apologize to Caleb Williams. I think they are too staunch in their hating. %78% to make the playoffs for the Packers. I kind of feel the same way. How do the Packers make the Super Bowl? How do the Packers beat the Eagles? The Packers are kind of just like a shittier version of the Eagles. All right, so we do a Chiefs receiver. So you do Hollywood or Taekwon. And then maybe one more Lions player. You do one more Lions player. 1, 2, 3. So we'd still be 1 short of a full Super Bowl. Definitely need Hollywood. Or actually what you do is you probably take both Chiefs. Hey man, if you don't like the Bill stuff, you just got to take Tyrell Shavers. Just line yourself up with a little Tyrell Shavers. You know what? I actually am going to do 2 Chiefs. There, that gives better Super Bowl combinations. So there we go. We've got Goff and Mahomes, Barkley, Montgomery, Pacheco, St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Hollywood Brown, and Tyquan Thornton. Beautiful. What is this draft and what is the reasoning you are picking players from these teams? This is a playoff best ball draft, and you are trying to draft players who score points in the Super Bowl. All right, Mahomes, Goff, Barkley, Montgomery, Pacheco, St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Hollywood Brown, Tyquan Thornton. Let's go hop in and do another one. Annoying to have to enter these on the phone, but also That's just the way she goes. Got so many of these to get done, bro. And you still got to draft BRs, man. It's tough out here. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Jonathan Taylor is like the advance rate piece. Okay. All right. Got the second pick here. It's just very interesting to do these very early on when there is no meta right now, you know? Like there's no currently accepted philosophy that works. God, is the Gabe Davis extinction event coming? I hope not. Certainly hope not. You know what? Let's try and do a Bills team. If the room gives it to us, I don't know. Maybe Series 52 we'll take Josh Allen at 1. Yeah, as of right now, you can build crazy teams in the Super Bowl that are going to be gone very, very soon. All right, Puka goes 1. So let's try and build a non-tilting Bills team. It's probably not going to work, but let's see if we can get it done. Oh, Puka, Josh Allen, and let's put on a little bit of background tunes, a little bit of night driving for my. So far to pull up a Bills team, you need to be at the 6 to go Allen Cook back to back. Can't you get Gibbs there though? Can't you get Lions stuff? You could do Gibbs, AJ Brown or something. The Ravens are pretty free. Yeah, the Ravens are pretty free. 1880. So really only 3 Ravens. Obviously this ADP is going to update tomorrow as well. Just Joe to do one of these when you can grab 5 Chiefs so easy. Michael putting all his Chiefs putting all his eggs in the Chiefs basket. I will probably draft a lot of Chiefs players. I know Gauntlet is 10 rounds. I don't think is this right that the way too early was 12 rounds? I think you might be thinking of the draft. The DraftKings stuff is 12 rounds. I'm trying to trade London in a win now league. I mean, I would just trade London for Rushy Rice. So I have Josh Allen. And I need to do Kyron. So Kyron, Rams, Adams. Okay, there you go. So you just do yeah, I would add in I would do that for Rice. Yeah, the mic will go underwater, but it will fix itself in very, very, very quickly. Like literally within like 3 minutes. So there we go. We're gonna all right. Well, Adams went. So now I can do Devonta Smith or Shakir. Let's try and push it. Let's do Eagles. Let's do Devonta. So we got Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, Devonta Smith. Yes, I believe this is the last week for the dog bowl. I don't know. The Bills teams are going to be tough. And they just the super annoying thing is you know beyond a shadow of a doubt Khalil Shakir is not going to be the Lad McConkey. Yeah, how about that? I thought this was a very sick eBay find, ECK. That is a legitimately vintage Quebec Nordiques like practice jersey. I don't think Drake May should be the 101. Drake May feels pretty overpriced to me. Okay, Bills got Shakir. The Bill, because the Patriots are 11th in Super Bowl odds, and they are also like favorites to have the bye. So just like really, really, really tough for Drake May to be like a really good pick. It's just it's very hard to get the 1-seeded teams through. Not impossible, but it is very tough. Well, CMC teams at 18 are the 49ers are just like not even a lock to make the postseason. All right. We are gonna do Kincaid. Well, is there another Eagles player? Yeah, Goddard. Who goes first, Goddard or Kincaid? I guess Kincaid marginally. Kincaid's more important for the structure as well. The bye teams are very good picks, but the Patriots don't have that good of odds. The Patriots have worse odds to win the AFC than the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Colts, and the Bills. So you have a combination of not getting points from Drake May in one round, and also him not being an overwhelming favorite to make the Super Bowl. So very, very hard to make a case that he should be the 101. As bad as the Bills are as a fill-out team. Yeah, exactly. The best Josh Allen teams are with NFC like one-off pieces is the deal. That's the best way to do it. Are you going to be disgusted if Green Bay wins? Well, I mean, I don't hate Green Bay. If you thought Green Bay was going to make the Super Bowl, then you'd want to do Jacobs, Love, and Watson, I guess. May, Purdy, Dak, or Mayfield. I would start Drake May. What are your thoughts on Stafford for MVP? It feels like Drake May is probably going to win the MVP. Stafford could, though. It's the Jordan Love prophecy Super Bowl season. Not really seeing it. I guess it's possible. Are the Packers even that good? Packers are pretty annoying. What did the winning team look like last year? Well, I'm sure it had Ladd McConkey on it. And then it had Xavier Worthy, Hurts, Devonta Smith, Barkley, something like that. Bills. Keon Coleman. No thanks. Rams. Eagles. Shit. All right. I need an NFC running back. David Montgomery. Sure. I just totally panicked right there. What does Taylor have to do to win MVP? Convert to quarterback. But if he converted to quarterback, he could definitely win MVP. Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, David Montgomery. So I need at least 5 Bills actually probably on this team. This is definitely a Ty Johnson team. Lions. We'll do Hope Laporta comes back from this back injury. If the Chiefs lose this week, no, they're pretty dead. The athletic playoff sim. I'll show you how bad it is for the Chiefs. But it's not pretty. If he converted to quarterback, would FFPC change his position now? They'd have to be fair. Yes, yeah. What was it? It was Rodgers won at age 27, Favre won at age 27. The PCL sprain for other players has kept them out for longer than 1 week, but the Falcons didn't sound that concerned. If JT has 2,000 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns, didn't Barkley do that last year and didn't even get any votes? So probably not. I don't know what is he listed at, like 50-1 to win? All right. So Ty Johnson, definitely very important for this team. Gotta take Gotta take Ty Johnson, the most important man in the world. And probably one more Bills pass catcher too, because I have 3 NFC teams. So probably one more Bill. Didn't Barkley have 20 touchdowns last year? Barkley had 15 touchdowns, 2,300 scrimmage yards and 15 touchdowns. Bills. Let's go Joshua Palmer. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bills. Tyrell Shavers is the grossest pick. It's just running backs are not going to win MVP. You can argue if it's good, bad, indifferent, but running backs are not going to. If running backs are going to win an award, it'll be Offensive Player of the Year. Gabe Davis 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. I'm saying Tyrell Shavers is the most important man on the planet. Someone just asked. So if the Chiefs lose to the Colts, but then win out, 99% if they lose to the Colts and win out, but pretty hard to win out. So do I want to take an Eagles player? You know what? Let's take Tank. There you go. Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, Ty Johnson, Tank Bigsby, DeMonta Smith, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, Samuel Laporta, and Joshua Palmer. This website is the Athletic NFL Playoff Picture Simulator. All right. The Bills teams feel pretty uncomfortable. I'm not loving the Bills teams. All right, let's hop into another one. See if we can get this contest will still be open. Should be. Do I think Emmanuel Wilson or Christian Watson? If Josh Jacobs is out, certainly. We're not going to get a good practice report on Josh Jacobs, but yeah, if Jacobs misses, you are definitely going to want Emmanuel Wilson. Emmanuel Wilson would be like a top 15 running back this week. Packers have like a super easy matchup this week, don't they? Bills haven't won in Houston since 2006. Josh is 0-3 in Houston. Are you buying this narrative? No, I am not. Would not be a narrative that would be that interesting to me. Isn't Davis Mills starting? Man, if Josh loses to Davis Mills, Green Bay home versus Minnesota. Yeah, pretty good matchup. Okay, well, we're drafting out of the 6. Wow, May went 101. All right, May 101. I wonder if is that cancelable? That feels cancelable. It probably, it won't be. But there you go. All right, wow, poor Stroud, bro. I don't think it's the 3rd best anymore. They're the 5th best Super Bowl odds now. All right, let's do. Oh, well, you know what? Let's do Puka and Cook. That'll set up a sick Super Bowl. Do you think Jacobs plays this week? I would guess that Jacobs plays this week, just because he seems to always play, but I have no inside medical information. All I know is that Josh Jacobs left the game with a knee injury last week. Would I trade Genty, a 28th third, and Troy Franklin for Rashee Rice? No, I probably would not. I would probably rather have Ashton Genty than Rashee Rice in Dynasty. Maybe a hot take. Do I think the Pats like defense is good against Cincinnati? Yes, I do. I do think they are. Yeah, I saw, dude, talk about a jump scare. I saw a jump scare that Marshawn Lloyd, it might be activated this week. That feels insane. Yeah, Genty definitely does not seem happy in Las Vegas, but what can you do? The game is the game. That is the team he plays on. That is where he is contracted to be. Man, am I gonna get snapped off on Stafford here? That would be pretty tilting. Matt Stafford could be a huge fuck. All right, well, I'm kind of screwed now. Damn. Okay, I think I'm going to pivot to a Chiefs team here. All right, so we'll do Kyron, and we'll do Mahomes, and James Cook will become the one-off piece. Offered Rice, Emmanuel Wilson, and Waddle for Genty in London. Genty is just too high. Genty is a very, very high value piece. I would really not want to be selling on him right now. Trade deadline is 2 days. I would say Jefferson is a hold, in my opinion. Bam Knight is a pretty good pickup. Amari DiMercado, high ankle sprain. Why did this guy take? Oh, this poor guy. This guy has 4 different NFC players to start. Oh, I bet he's auto drafting. Hurts, McCaffrey, Stafford, Igbuka. He's got to be auto drafting. I mean, if you are all in, then I would probably want Rashee and maybe another starter. Is the thing for in Dynasty stuff. But the like, I don't know. Let's go keep trade cut. I would assume Genty is a top 15 asset. Genty is a top 20 asset. I'd just be very hard selling that. All right, so we go. Wow, we get Rashee here. And is there another Rams player worth taking? There isn't. Is there another Chiefs? Oh yeah, Kelsey. Wow. Okay. Mahomes, Cook, Kyron, Puka. Chiefs, Rams. I mean, it's a pretty viable Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't understand this draft. Shakir over Rashee. Well, the Buffalo Bills are the top odds to win the AFC Conference Championship, and the Kansas City Chiefs are the third odds. So a team that is more likely to make the Super Bowl in the Buffalo Bills means that you really want their players. Yes. I believe Andy Reid calls the plays, but Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator. Well, I think that's why it's only $5. I think the reason that the way too early playoff best ball is $5 is because these drafts are pretty risky. It appears that Trey Benson is eligible. Trey Benson is eligible to come back starting this week. I don't know if his practice window has been opened, but he's eligible to come back at any point. Okay, so the question on this one is, do I try and add in some Rams scrubs, or do I want to do like maybe some Seahawks players, maybe some Packers players? I don't think I've done very many Packers yet. Does that make sense to do Packers players? Could do like Dubs and Golden, Dubs and Reed, Dubs and Watson. So first off, we need a Chiefs. You know what? Let's just go all in. These guys are all going to be more expensive, or I'll be done drafting Chiefs teams in a week. One of the two. Either we won't be drafting Chiefs players in next week, or it won't matter. After Sunday, Chiefs are either going to be off the menu or they're all going to be way more expensive. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a good point. Green Bay would be preferable to Seattle. Yeah, the snipes will really ruin your day. Yes, based on Super Bowl odds, the Chiefs are a steal, but they have to execute. And Lord only knows if that execution will come. The Chiefs are 0-5 this year in one-score games. So pretty tough. Pretty tough. It's been a tough watch as a fan. I have not. It's Trey Benson injury. The latest injury update on Trey Benson. No mention of Benson's status in the Monday presser. The most recent thing that Jonathan Gannon has said is that he's taking it day by day. So I would guess he won't be back this week. Also, I agree with this. Like, Dubs feels better to hit a lineup than like AJ Barner, but I could be wrong. All right. You know what? Let's do the Packers stuff. Packers, let's do... Oh, Christian Watson went. Damn. All right, whatever, dude. Let's do... You know what? Jaden Reed. You only live once. We'll do Jaden Reed, and we'll do... You know what? Actually, let's just take Hunt. Whatever. That's a bit of a mishmash. Did this even happen once last year? Oh, he's talking about the Broncos game. Yes. Yes, the Chiefs did win one game last year due to a blocked kick. Shout out. What was that? As against Leo Chenal blocked that against the Broncos. All right, Mahomes, Cook, Kyron, Pacheco, Hunt, Puka, Rashi, Kelsey Worthy with 2 Rams, a James Cook advance rate piece, and Jaden Reed. I would have liked to have taken Christian Watson there, but he got snapped. Okay. I'm going to get out of here, boys. Probably be back with something for you guys tomorrow. Unclear. Probably a like how to play playoff best ball video. But yeah, have a great day. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will see you guys back